Hi, so normally you get to see my face during these videos. Today I wanted to show you what it's like to have a spread with me, and this one in particular is called the Body Spread. And I use this to get a better idea of how we're internalizing the answers or the questions that we might have, and it tends to open up our desired outcome or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in a more revealing and personal way. I use this a lot with relationships. I've also used it related to job searches, just to find out more about where the best fit for someone might be. So let me show you a little bit about what this looks like. And normally you can see more of my body when I talk about the body spread, but I'll try and do my best. So the first card that we pull after shuffling is about the head. So the body spread starts with the head, moves to the mouth, then into the heart, then into the gut, then into the groin, and then we'll move to the hands and the feet. So it's a little chakra-ish, but not 100%. So after shuffling, then based on the question that you have, I'll pull the card for the head, and the head is about what you're thinking, and that always starts at the very, very top. These are going to be hard to see. I'm using, for this example, the Wild Unknown Tarot. Once we've tapped into what you're thinking about the situation, then we'll pull a card for what you're saying. And it's interesting to see the juxtaposition of these two cards during a reading, because what you think and what you say may be two totally different things. Then I'll pull a card for this heart center, so what you're feeling. So then we'll discuss how this upper body stuff tends to fit together. So we'll talk about what you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're feeling. After we're getting through that, then we're going to get into the gut. So it's really about your instinct about the situation. What does that feel like? That card will get laid down. After we talk about your gut, then we're going to move into the groin, and the groin is what you want. It's your desire, right? It's what you really, really need. So we'll have, at this point, 5 cards laid out. What you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're feeling, what your instinct is, and what you really want. Once we've gone through this column of information, and it's basically head through spine, all the way through the spine, then we're going to start to take a look at your hands. And based on what your dominant hand is, I'll lay a card on one side or the other. I'm left-handed, so I'll put it on the left side today. It might look on the right side too. But lay out a card, and that card is what you're holding on to. So it's what you keep close to you. After we talk about what you're holding on to, we'll talk about what you need to release, or what you can let go of, or what you're giving out today. It might be what you need to let go of. It might be what you're already giving out. And you see a little bit of it looks a little body-ish, and now we're going to add some feet. So the feet will pull where you're coming from, and then as you step forward, where you're going to. So it looks a little heavy on the bottom, but that's kind of how our bodies are a little bit, right? So we've got a spine, some hands, and some feet. After I've done going through all of this in order to talk about what you're feeling, what you're thinking, saying, feeling, what your instinct is, what your desire is, what you really want, what you're holding on to, letting go of, coming from, going towards. Then I'll line all these up based on their suit. And I'm going to take a look at how the suits play together. And that'll tell me more about how, there's even some major arcanas in there. That'll tell me more about what state the situation is in. So in this example, there's a lot of swords. There's something from each suit, but there's a lot of swords. So if this were a reading that I was doing for you, there'd be a lot of conversation about either some intellectual state or a lot of problems, being stuck in your head or fighting with someone a lot. It could go either way. So the swords tell me something very specific, where I can see that there isn't a lot of material things happening. There isn't a lot of emotional issues in whatever this reading might have been. And in fact, there's only one major arcana, so there's probably not a lot of life lessons going on, but it's going to require some effort to get through. So I hope this was helpful. If this is a reading that's interesting to you, this is something you can go find out more about at ComingOutTarot.com. Thank you.